work of fiction contains grotesque images that may disturb some viewers. Look at that. Gray, 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 blue, blue, blue. Gray, blue, gray, blue. So what makes this disgusting?
ふみのりと一緒に暮らすの?
I was too afraid to ask her what she thought of that, so I hastily offered a deal. Is it hastily or hastily? I've always said hastily.
君の父さんのことは代わりに僕が探してあげる。約束するよ。
Oh,
必
that's
ず居場所を見つ
why.
けてみせる。
Oh, that's why he's so determined. On the day of my release, I managed to smile as I accepted the hideous, foul-smelling celebratory bouquet. The flesh beasts calling themselves Koji, Umi, and Yo came to pick me up. Though they had come to see me many times during my stay, it never got easier to see my friends change so horribly. My sudden tears of despair drew suspicion, but I managed to explain them away as tears of joy. Celebratory? But why is it celebration, but celebratory? After Koji and the others dropped me off, I paused a while to regard my surroundings. I had lived my entire life on this block, in this house. There was no other place that I could call home. But nothing was as I remembered. Ooh, this song, new song! It's so good! What? As I walked up the path to the front door and took in the yard where I'd spent my childhood, I could feel those memories being defiled by the twisted, festering shapes around me. Inside the house, I found nothing familiar, nothing to offer me comfort and warmth. What I had once called home was now a whole other world.
僕にはもう帰る場所なんてない。
I have no home, I whispered with a smile of self-pity. There was one last stop to make, one last nail to hammer into my coffin. Saya, I stepped into the room that had cradled me from childhood. The walls were papered with human entrails, the bed a tangled mass of worm flesh. But none of that mattered. There, curled up on the bed like an abandoned cat, was Saya. As I stood there in shock, she looked up at me and in a tiny, weak voice said,
本当にここにいてもいい?
I responded by sweeping her into my arms, embracing her tightly so that she would not escape. Saya did not resist. When she arrives at the Sakisaka house, Omi first takes a deep breath to calm herself. Her anger does not vanish entirely, of course, but at least now she can hear herself think. So Omi decides to just open the door and go in shouting. And if the door is locked, she'll just have to... Surprisingly, the doorknob turns easily in her hand, and the enraged Omi finds herself throwing the door open wider than she intended. No. Her nostrils are instantly assaulted by a choking stench.
何?
As Omi stands petrified on the threshold, the cowbell hanging on the side of the door chimes loudly. A moment later... Omi can't believe her ears. The voice she had just heard could not have been human, yet its intonations were too complex for any animal she can imagine.
誰かいるの?
She calls out to the end of the hallway from which the voice came. There is no response. Instead, she hears the sound of something soft and wet flopping its way deeper into the house. Finding it difficult to place a meaningful image to the voice she just heard, Umi stares blankly at the empty vestibule. There's nothing there. Not even Fuminori's shoes. Which can only mean that he's still outside somewhere, wearing them. The house should be empty. But then, what was that voice just now? Saya? It's the kitchen, lit by what must be the only window in the house not covered by a storm shutter. Oh, the music. The sound she heard was the pot boiling on the stove, and on the chopping board next to it lie a butcher's knife and some half-diced carrots. A perfectly normal household scene, with the light of the setting sun making everything the color of decomposing fruit. Something is wrong. Who was cooking here? And where did they go?
いないんですか?
Umi calls, regretting it immediately as she realizes that her voice is shaking. No, 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 no! When she looks back ruefully the way she came, she realizes that her current position is not visible from the entrance. This kitchen must be where that strange voice came from. The next room is probably the den. As she expected from the closed storm shutters, it's pitch black inside. Omi wants nothing more than to flee the house, but that would mean turning her back to the darkness, and that she simply cannot bring herself to do so. Moved by some irrational compulsion, Omi sets foot into the den. It's too dark to see anything, and the stink is far worse than before. She slides her hand along the wall, feeling for the light switch. Finding it much sooner than she expected, she flips it on like it's her last hope. The colors. The colors. So many colors. Thank you for the super tattoos. The purple of entrails, the brown of rotten meat, the crimson of flesh blood, the yellow of fat. These colors. That's what I said! And more that cannot be described cover every inch of the room in maddening array. The colors say all that needs to be said about the painter's hatred, malice, and insanity. Omi's legs give out from the shock, sending her to the floor. Slime immediately soaks through her jeans, its cold tendrils creeping up her legs, crotch, and her neck. Her hand flies to her neck, where it's greeted by another drop of chilly slime. Above her, something is dripping down on her head. Making perhaps the worst decision of her life, Omi looks up. The predator clinging to the ceiling, poised to leap upon its prey. She sees it in every detail. Her mouth and nose are sealed before she can scream, and her belly is torn open as something enters to feast on her innards. But by the time she feels any of this, Omi has already gone mad. Doraemon Saya no Uta. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. What do you mean it was a cliffhanger? Omi's dead! She's dead! She's dead! That had to be Saya. There was nobody in the house but her. Saya entered her body, ripped open her stomach, and ate everything inside. How do you know? It's common sense! It's common sense! I love Saya. I love her, even if she's disgusting, cause beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And I do not judge people by their looks. I do not judge women by how they look. I judge them from the inside. And you should too. And Saya is a nice, lovely, beautiful girl. Oh my god, she did protect! She was protecting! It was a protection! She was protecting she was protecting her boyfriend. She was protecting her boyfriend. It's not murder, it was a home invasion. Ew! Home invasions aren't covered by self-defense laws in places outside America. Well, what do you want me to do when somebody walks into my house? Not instinctively stab them? Also, I just had another realization. Is that why Saya doesn't eat? My beloved. It was disturbing in a lovely way. I rarely like disturbing things. Like, I don't like being jump scared. I think jump scares are like cheap horror. I like actual, like, disturbing, disgusting body horror stuff. I think those are very epic and cool and rock. Thank you for the 5 gifts, Arclight. Thank you. Yeah, I like unsettling things. I like it. Why does Saya cook normal food? If Saya knows that Fuminori has a reaction, then why does Saya cook normal food for him? Why doesn't Saya just cook, like... Oh, wait.